is the announcement guy. I wanted to talk to you about meditating with the Insight Timer. All kinds of friends from Mile High Church around there, and you can get the app for this and just meditate anywhere. We thought it would be more dramatic if I stood outside here, but I'm having trouble meditating. But it is more dramatic, isn't it?
Yeah, more dramatic.
Okay, cool. This is coming up.
It's time for our annual Giving Tree program, where Mile Highers provide Christmas gifts for over 1,000 children in the greater Denver area.
Hello, my name is Melissa Alvarez-Lozano. I work at Rosestein International Elementary. We're an IB school. We're a Title I school. That means that 80% of our students are in free and reduced. Their families in need. So thank you everybody that is involved in this program. It's called Giving Tree, and you guys have been helping us for 3 years. So we have a good partnership with you. So from Rosestein families and all the staff and all the people that you're helping, I would like to say that we feel honored to be in your thoughts, and thank you so much for doing Christmas another year for these students. Thank you.
My name is Lori Bromwitz. I'm the school counselor at Belmar School of Integrated Arts, an elementary school in Lakewood. This will be my second year working with Mile High Church and Reverend Masando on the Giving Tree Winter Holiday Gift Assistance Program. We have about 35 families at Belmar that participated last year and will participate again this year. They were all so appreciative of the gifts and the wonderful dinner provided by the church volunteers at the event. Watching the kids' faces light up as they opened their gifts was such a heartwarming experience, and it was such a fun night for our whole community. Although this year will look very different due to COVID, I know I speak for our families when I say that we all really appreciate the hard work and the support provided by Mile High Church, and I cannot wait to continue our partnership with such an amazing organization.
It's time for music, fun, and yes, even a visit from Santa Claus for this year's family Christmas. This Mile High tradition continues with joy, laughter, and inspiration for the entire family, even the really Scroogey. Footprints of light. Powerful way showers like Jesus have left their traces by walking this beautiful earth and sharing their light. This holiday season, we can leave our footprints of light everywhere we go and everywhere we are. This will be a 2-part Sunday series with Michelle Medrano beginning December 6th. Get your daily calendar to give you an idea for how to leave your footprint of light each day in December. The calendar and links for all of these events and more is at milehighchurch.org.
Okay, just want to let you know about one more thing. The youth ministry is putting out an Advent calendar that will lead up to the days of Christmas. It's all about light this year. This was developed by the Germans in the 1800s. Now it's mainly about chocolate, and I think we need that. Have a great week.
I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, ooh, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, ooh, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I live my peace, ooh, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. Oh, I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, ooh, I live my peace into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love.
Thank you, Lauren
Let's
Sheely and
do
our Mile
that.
High Band. Good morning, Michelle.
Good
How are
morning,
you today?
Josh. I'm great, thanks.
And good morning to you. Welcome to Mile High Church. We are an inclusive, loving, vibrant community, whether we're in person or online. We're so glad to welcome you online today. Michelle, if you opened up the news today, it could cause you to feel a little unstable.
Most
Increased concern for the health of our loved ones. The governor has been diagnosed with coronavirus. We send love to him and his partner. They're asymptomatic, but we wish them well. The Broncos don't even have a quarterback today.
And I wear Bronco colors.
I know, Dr. Roger has been praying for this one-day contract for a very long time, so we wish him well in his opportunity. If he doesn't do well, we'll just blame the offensive line like we normally do.
That sounds like a good plan.
However, here at Mile High Church, we're all about keeping the faith. We're all about knowing that no matter what conditions may be going on around us, they never compare to that power within us. And when we gather as community to know that higher good for ourselves, for our communities, for our whole world, it makes a difference, and it helps us know that we're going to get through this together. And Michelle, we have some exciting news to share about our upcoming Candlelight services with everyone today.
We do, and we have had to make all sorts of decisions, as I know you all have with your personal lives too. So here's what's going to happen for our Candlelight services this year. For the first time ever, our Candlelight services will be virtually available, and we are going to be showing them on the 23rd and 24th of December at 1, 4, and 7 p.m. So you can tune in and watch, and you can even light a candle with us, because Josh and I are going to be available on the 6th and the 13th and the 20th, right after services from 11:30 to 1, all 3 of those Sundays, to hand out candle kits. You can drive through, and we'll be there to greet you. I'm going to wear something very festive. How about you?
I'm going to borrow one of your jackets if it's cold, but just know that we would do anything to get to see our congregation.
Yes.
So drive through blessings, get a candle, and
Yes.
that's our Candlelight theme this year, is many candles, one light. So we'll be lighting them in different places, but celebrating our oneness everywhere.
And I do admit one of the agendas in my heart, besides handing candles to you all, is to see you all for the holiday season. So that is for sure. So please feel free to drive through any one of those days and come see us. And now we invite you to just take a moment to join us in prayer. We're going to take a deep breath together. We're going to have a special song, and then Reverend Michelle Scavetta will give us a beautiful prayer. Let's do that now.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
And simply breathing into that stillness. The powerful presence of God that is right here, right now. Breathing and expressing through us and all around us. Recognizing this divine presence as peace, joy, love, pure possibility. Fully knowing that this expression expresses through each and every one individual, expresses through the collective. Knowing that this divine presence is right where we are in every moment, in every situation, every circumstance, is God. I'm so grateful to know that God is right here amidst this extraordinary community of Mile High Church, expressing itself in each person that we interact with, through nature, through our four-leggeds, through all of the lives that we touch and all of the lives that touches us. It is God. And I'm so grateful for all of the ways that God shows up through our Mile High Church community, through our virtual services, through our classes, through our music, and through our spoken word. It is all God expressing itself magnificently from the One. And as we move to our service today, may we allow ourselves to deepen into our connection, to deepen into this space of gratitude, to deepen into this space of community, knowing through the words, through all of the ways that we interact with one another, we are deepening our connection with God. And so I give great thanks for all of the words that are spoken today, through our music, through the light that touches each and every person right where we are. And for anyone experiencing a greater sense of separation, may we deepen into community, connection, and that sacred heart. And with great gratitude, knowing that all of the ways that we are able to connect with God is present in every moment, be it through stillness, through the silence, through the music, through prayer. All of the ways that we get to connect, God is connecting with us. And just settling in, allowing our hearts to open a little bit deeper. We allow this service to uplift us, to inspire us, and to remind us that we are the light, and we are the ones that we've been waiting for. And with an overflowing heart, I simply give thanks and allow it to be. And so it is.
My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. Oh Lord, my God, you are my strength. You carry me upon your wings. You are in me, you know my heart. My soul sings out out to you. Yeah, yeah, my soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. Yeah, yeah, my soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. Your constant blessings that flow to me like a mighty river to my heart. You are in me, you set me free. Oh, and I will love you forever and ever and ever and ever. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. Yeah, yeah, my soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. Yeah, yeah, my soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. Yeah, 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 my soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you.
Thank you, Lauren Sheely and our wonderful band. You guys are the best. So good to have you here, Lauren. In this year of unprecedented loss, not only with the norms that we experience in life, but the loss of beings who've crossed over to the other side, it's always a challenge when we lose one of our own mile highers. And today I wanted to let you know, we'd like you to know that one of our great practitioners, somebody who's been a practitioner for well over 30 years here at Mile High Church, has made her transition into the next plane of life. And so we want to let you know of the passing of dear beloved Sadie Turtlelot. You'll probably see her picture here on screen. You might recognize her from being the lead TA in our Beyond Limits class for many, many, many years with Dr. Roger, always there to greet people as they walked in the door and welcome them, as well as serve in our community in such a powerful, profound way. Sadie was my personal practitioner when I was a young one here at Mile High Church and helped me tremendously, and I know she's helped many, many, many people as she did her holy, sacred work here. So we bless Sadie. We know that her beloved husband Bill has gone before her and that they are together now, and we send love and blessings to her family and to our family as we deal with this loss. So thank you so much, Sadie Turtlelot, for all your love and all your support. We love you, dear one, so much. And we also continue to celebrate Thanksgiving here at Mile High Church. On Thursday, we showed our wonderful Thanksgiving service where we aired a beautiful video featuring the children of Mile High Church. And we love our children, and we miss them so much. The video was so sweet and touching. And Reverend Josh is still continuing to talk today on his beautiful series about Thanksgiving. So we thought it would be a wonderful day to re-air that video with our kids. Here it is.
I'm thankful for my family and my friends and all the opportunities that have come to me this year and all the good things that have happened to me throughout my life. There's been a few opportunities with even COVID and stuff that I still can be able to do dance and still be able to hang out with my friends and all of that. And also I feel like my family is really there for me through if I'm feeling sad, I have people I can talk to, and I really appreciate that.
I'm thankful for my family and my friends and this whole Mile High Church community. Overall, it's a very great community.
I am thankful for my family. My dog, Scout.
I'm thankful for the whole community that I have at church and at my school.
I am thankful for all the opportunities that have presented themselves in my life. Like the acceptances that I've gotten in different colleges and the scholarships that I've been offered.
I'm really thankful for how accepting my friends and family have been as I come out to them.
I'm definitely thankful for my friends who have helped me through this rough year and just how they have definitely supported me. And I'm also thankful for the church, which has stood through COVID and helped me stay afloat.
My family and my house. Family.
I am thankful that I've got things that I can get away from COVID from. Like I can get away with like watching TV with my family and like playing games. Like just not and like going camping, just not having things like to not think about COVID for.
I'm thankful for so many things, but I think I'm really thankful this year that the teachers are still out there teaching in schools with everything going on in the pandemic. I think it's really cool that they're doing it out of the love of their heart and like putting their lives and their health and their family at risk. And I think that's really cool.
There is a place far from this worried world where freedom awaits from that burden you've got locked inside. Oh, how you tend to hide. So won't you go there with me, down to the riverside where the water runs free, and you can let your heart swing open wide. Won't you swing it open wide? 'Cause baby, you are mine to carry such a load. Lay it down and we can watch it go down the river of grace. Oh, the river of grace. And all it takes is a little bit of faith, and Spirit comes and carries it away down the river of grace. Oh, the river of grace. Here's the beautiful thing, that river runs inside you, and you can go anytime, and it's there your Savior waits for you. Yeah, it's waiting there for you, 'cause baby, you are mine to carry such a load. Lay it down and we can watch it go down the river of grace. Oh, the river of grace. And all it takes is a little bit of faith, and Spirit comes and carries it away down the river of grace. Oh, the river of grace. Cast your every care, cast them way out there, and the river deep, in the endless supply. Feel your heart rise up from that cleansing flood, so clean and free, so true and alive, so true and alive, so true and alive. 'Cause baby, you are mine to carry such a load. Lay it down and we can watch it go down the river of grace. Oh, the river of grace. And all it takes is a little bit of faith, and Spirit comes it, baby. Oh, won't you let your heart swing open wide? You've got it, baby. You've got it, baby.
Beautiful. Thank you, Lauren Sheely, Kent Rattenstrauss, Rob Lowe, Josh Byers, Bijou Barbosa. What a team. So grateful for them, so grateful for you. So grateful to be talking on the theme of creative appreciation this morning and the topic of expanding awareness. Aldous Huxley, the great author and explorer of consciousness, he once said, "We human beings have an almost infinite capacity for taking things for granted." I can sure resonate with that taking for granted part when I think about times that I've taken my wife or family for granted, when I've taken for granted the wonder of the job that I get to do here and of my ministry, all the incredible people and connections I've made along the way. I think of taking for granted when I think of the incredible prayer of our country, of experiencing equality and liberty and justice for all. And yet, that infinite capacity part, it stings a little bit for me too, when I think about times that I've chosen standoffishness instead of love with my partner. When I think of the times that I chose getting that busy work done that I thought was oh so important at the time instead of spending a precious moment with one of my children. When I think about times that I may have been short instead of compassionate with a coworker or, God forbid, a congregant, it can sting. And at the heart of my message of creative appreciation, not only do we sometimes fail to fully appreciate what matters most to us, but when we do take things for granted, we minimize the momentum of a creative power in our life that is fueled by appreciation. Because an active appreciation of all the wonderful aspects of our lives doesn't just help us be grateful, but it is a wave of momentum for our lives that doesn't just magnify our blessings, but that can multiply them. That's how powerful a creative appreciation is. As cynical as this idea that we have an infinite capacity for taking things for granted is, I also believe that the opposite is true. That each of us has an infinite capacity for appreciation. I may never be able to appreciate my wife and family fully, but I vow to try. I may never be able to fully appreciate the wonder of getting to be in community with so many incredible people here at Mile High Church and the communities that I've been a part of in the past, but I vow to try. I may never fully be able to appreciate the miracle of life, giving of itself in so many different creative ways, but I vow to try. And that's a creative appreciation. And for each of us, and what I want to talk about today, is that when we can cultivate an expanding awareness, we can bring and demonstrate a consciousness of wholeness in our lives that can demonstrate greater healing, greater depth of understanding, and a new level of livingness in your life. Probably the most famous of all Zen stories is called A Cup of Tea. It was really popularized in the 1950s in a book called Zen Flesh, Zen Bones by a poet named Paul Reps, and he brought together all of these incredible teaching stories from Buddhism. And the story goes like this. Nan-in, a Japanese master during the Meiji era, received a university professor who came to inquire about Zen. Nanin served tea. He poured his visitor's cup full and then kept on pouring. The professor watched the overflow until he no longer could restrain himself. "It is overfull. No more will go in." "Like this cup," Nanin said. "You are full of your own opinions and speculations. How can I teach you Zen unless you first empty your cup?" And it's a profound and yet simple message. The teacup represents our consciousness, our ability to receive, and the tea itself represents spiritual understanding, spiritual wisdom. And I found in my life that there's two ways to practice spirituality. The first way is thinking that you know stuff, which results often in a kind of smugness and self-righteousness. The other way is to live in the glory of the mystery of life, knowing that wisdom comes and knowing that you don't know. And as Christopher Hitchens once alluded to, knowledge only precludes the understanding that you know less and less about more and more about less and less. And yet, in this willingness not to know and to glean whatever understandings we can, for me comes the richness of spiritual living. And so each of us is called in our own way to create space to bring this wisdom into our life. Ernest Holmes expressed this idea when he talked about the importance of being open at the top. When he says be open at the top, he means just what the Zen master meant. Empty your cup and have a beginner's mind when it comes to receiving spiritual understanding. When Holmes says open at the top, he means don't just listen to the wisdom from thousands of years ago, but listen to what science and philosophy is telling us today about our life. He means be willing to change your mind. He means always look at life honoring your understanding, but always know there is more. There is more. And the first step to really expanding awareness in our lives is the willingness to empty our cup, to have the courage enough to put our understanding aside, or for me, that greatest illusion that I allow myself to live under, that I'm right. Put that aside and open up to get that new information. It's so important to creating and expressing life in new and dynamic ways. Holmes, he tells us, how much can we see? How much can we accept? How much can we find in our own consciousness that is no longer repudiated by our own denials? Whatever that is, that much we can have. And all we're asked to do at times is to release the old understandings that are keeping us from being present. Like the teacup story, I think we can approach challenges or new desires for understanding the same way. Sometimes the question isn't, what do I need to learn in this experience to get through it, but what do I need to unlearn? Not what do I need to know, but what do I need to unknow? What do I need to deprogram to step into my life in a new way? So many of us are familiar with that expression. Is the glass half full or half empty? The idea being that if you see the glass as half full, you're optimistic. But if you see it as empty or half empty, then you're pessimistic. But for me, taking this story of a cup of tea, that half empty, half full is actually the perfect way to approach our lives. It's good to have some understanding. It's good to have some wisdom. And yet it's oh so important to always leave room open for more. I've learned this in my working life or even working in this church. If we don't leave space, if we don't make room in our lives, how is what is being called to emerge going to emerge if we don't create space for the new? And so the perfect way to live for me is with a half full, half empty container of consciousness. And yet we may ask ourselves, how do I expand my understanding of the richness of life? How do I receive even more information if my glass is only half full? Well, the answer is you get a bigger glass. You widen your container. And this is the second step to expanding awareness. Empty yourself of outdated understandings and work diligently to expand your container of consciousness so you can receive even more. So that the next time you go to see the Zen teacher about learning spiritual information and he asks you if you want a cup of tea, you say, yes, but I brought my own cup. And you pull out a super big gulp and you say, only half full, please. How do we expand our container? Quite simply, we develop inner life. Develop inner life. We can do this through traditional models of meditation and prayer, but really, it's about doing things that widen your perspective. Doing things that help connect you with a presence and a perspective larger than your own. Sitting down with that good book, taking that walk in nature, being fully present to family and friends in a holiday celebration. All of these things develop and expand our inner life. All those things that you have on your list of wanting to do but haven't done them because you tell yourself there's no material good that they can create, all of those things. Those are what we must do to expand our container so that we can step into our life in every moment, appreciating in grander and grander ways. I always remember being convinced, this was about 10 years ago, to do what was called the Master Cleanse. Anyone heard of this? You're supposed to go for 10 days, if I remember right, and you take water and you squeeze lemon juice in it, and you put in maple syrup, and you put in cayenne pepper, and you drink it for 10 days. And I'm quite sure there's just 2 girls in a garage somewhere that make these diets up for us and go, oh my God, look, they're actually doing it. And I don't know if it's still a thing today. If you were here, you could remind me. But I made it about 4 days, and I was starving. And so I knew I was going to end this and I was going to eat something, and my first instinct was to go get a hamburger, but I wanted something lighter. And so I went into the kitchen and I dug through the cupboards for something light to eat, and I found right in the back of the cupboard a can of pea soup. Now, I want to speak to the significance of that can of pea soup, because I would argue that wherever you are, if you've lived there for more than 2 years, more than likely you have something like this can of pea soup. It may be some creamed corn, some canned yams, some black beans, something that you bought from the supermarket at the time, but now you've glanced over for years and years and it's collecting dust back there. And so I took this can of pea soup and I prepared it and I ate it, and it was the most delicious meal I've ever had. I appreciated every last bite. So the question becomes, how can I take that appreciation that I had for that pea soup and apply it to every person and every activity in my life? That is to live well. I don't want to say to people, you're like a can of pea soup in the back of the cupboard to me, but how can I apply a creative appreciation that allows me to fully take in the blessing that is before me? And this is the point of widening that container, of being more open to receive the good that's available to us in life. I love how Allen Ginsberg put it. He said, when you notice something clearly and see it vividly, it then becomes sacred. See something or someone that matters to you right now. See it clearly. See them vividly and watch as they become sacred. Mary Oliver put it even more emphatically. She said, attention is the beginning of devotion. You see, that creative appreciation, it's like a sixth sense. It's like a muscle we have to continue to work out and build upon. Wherein that first step is emptying our container and the next is expanding it. The final step is to let that spiritual information in. Let the appreciation in so you can express it all around you. What else led to that full appreciation of the pea soup? Well, it was fasting. It was choosing not to eat and to do this weird diet for 4 days. And so I want to invite you today to fast as well, but not what you might be thinking of. I'm actually asking you to fast not on anything that you like to do or anything that you love. I'm only asking you to fast on that which you don't like. In particular, your negative thinking, in particular, thoughts of lack, in particular, acts of self-beratement, in particular, judging other people? Why not fast and diet on these unconstructive methods? And again, take all that energy that you might put into negativity or judgment or worry, regret, and put it into appreciating your life as it is, being open to whatever spiritual information is prepared right here and right now to come to you in a dynamic and powerful way. Ernest Holmes didn't tell a whole lot of different stories, but one that he tells really briefly in The Science of Mind is about a man who's incredibly thirsty. He's just parched. And someone gives him a glass of water, and he drinks it and continues to profess and talk about how thirsty he was. What's the missing part in that story? Having his thirst quenched, feeling whole, feeling full, feeling complete. For so many of us, that's the missing part of our lives. We know how to feel thirsty. We know how to want. We know how to feed ourselves. But sometimes we don't know how to fully receive the appreciation of the fullness in our lives. It sounds contrite when we talk about water or food, perhaps, but what about when we talk about real love? When we talk about really feeling the presence of the sacred in our lives? What about when we talk about really feeling whole and like our complete self in our lives right now? That's what we have to do, is to learn to receive that gift so that we can practice it in our lives. Our Science of Mind and Spirit philosophy is a positive and powerful one. And one of the biggest difficulties that people run into when they enter into our philosophy is they think, oh, I'm just going to practice this stuff and everything's going to be honky-dory. Everything's going to be great. What we forget is we're taking this positive and powerful philosophy and then applying it, in my case, to the mess that is myself. The years or sometimes decades of negative thinking, of self-righteousness, of telling myself my life isn't enough. I now have to take this pure spiritual information and try and stuff it into the teacup of my consciousness, which is often filled with years or again decades of grime and muck. And it can be a painful process. Carl Jung said this once. He said, there's no coming to consciousness without pain. It's not meant to be this negative, pessimistic ideas. It's just that when I'm willing to be conscious, when I'm willing to allow the love of spirit, a sense of the sacred into my consciousness and into my life, that muck that has been hiding at the bottom, it's got to come up. It's got to come out. This analogy is one of Ernest Holmes as well, which he wrote about with Willis Kinnear in an underappreciated work, I find, called A New Design for Living. Even though there may be stored away in the subconscious many years of negative thinking along certain lines, this in no way need concern us. In fact, we do not even need to bother ourselves with what may or may not be there. What we need to do is to start today to make sure that the content of our conscious thought is good and think clearly and definitely about it. What occurs then is similar to drops of clear water falling into a glass of murky, inky water. Not much appears to have changed with the first drop, but slowly and surely the water in the glass becomes clearer and clearer until it is as clear as the drops that fall into it. You don't have to achieve enlightenment, awareness, or spirituality all at once, but drip by drip, drop by drop, taking those moments of expanded awareness to allow spirit into our lives. And when the pain comes up, when the bad memories, the trauma, the judgments, the uncertainties, the lack of confidence, the self-beratement, whatever it is, the trick is it's not there for you to relitigate. It's not there for you to re-experience. It's there for you to make the choice to say, that's not me anymore. That might be who I was, and even some of those negative thoughts may have served me for the time, but it's not who I am. Our only job is to let it go, is to be aware of it, bless it, and let it go, so that we can increase the room for good in our lives. My friends, we believe that we are surrounded by an infinite good all of the time. We believe that there is an ever-ending source of love, inspiration, and creativity around us all the time. Our work isn't in learning to hold on to this understanding, but is to continue to receive it drop by drop so that it continue to expand us in our living. And if we're not experiencing that infinite good, it's not the infinite good's fault. It's up to us to know, and you can say this with me, God is enough. Life is enough. I am enough. God is enough. Life is enough. I am enough. And I don't mean enough in some small kind of way. I mean that willingness to realize that having appreciation in the present moment is the very key to unlocking the ultimate reality and meaning of your life. And when we do it, it adds and expands. And so continue to visualize with me as we move into this time of prayer. Those clear crystal drops of spirit that know nothing but a brand new good, a brand new love, a brand new inspiration for our lives. All that we must choose to do is to let go of any part of ourselves that would reject this good, that would reject this grace, that would deny the forgiveness of our hearts and the work of integrating wholeness into all aspects of our life. We can apply these drops of spirit not only to our own consciousness, but to our relationships, to our families, to our country. What else could be taking place right now than the bringing up of things left undone and unrecognized to be a better person, to be better in relationships, to be an even better country and citizen? Let us know that that tap of spirit never runs dry. But as we continue to empty ourselves, expand our receptivity, and say yes to this divine spirit making its way through you and through I, we allow it to demonstrate. I invite us to visualize however we seek spirit to demonstrate in our lives this day and in the days to come. Committing right here and right now to stay true to the vision, to stay true to that infinite capacity, to appreciate, to embrace, and live our lives from the highest high, even when we feel at the lowest low, knowing that divine presence continues to bind each of us towards that divine destiny of greater wholeness, manifesting grander possibilities, and living in this incredible thing called love. And so it is.
You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is there in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing.
So as we move into our time of offering this morning, I want to thank you for keeping Mile High strong in these challenging times, for helping us to thrive even in the midst of these uncertain circumstances that we're living in. Our ability to innovate and to respond is so much a result of the gifts that you give to Mile High Church. So thanks to each of you who give what you can. Thanks to each of you who have found even more to give to support us during these times. You know, we've had to stop some things for safety's sake, but we have not had to stop our creative content that allows us to create incredible services, incredible programs, incredible classes, and to continue to nurture and cultivate this awesome staff that we have here at Mile High Church, and that's a direct result of your gifts. So thank you so much for your giving. You know the drill. You can text to give. You can mail in a check. You can give through milehighchurch.org. However you give, let us take a moment to give thanks for our own abundance, for the abundance and prosperity of every person who associates with Mile High Church, and of course, for the blessing of this God-inspired vision that is Mile High Church, helping to make the divine visible all around us in all that we do. So with that, we can say our offering affirmation together. Divine love blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is.
I get wings to fly. Oh, I'm alive. Yeah. When you call on me, when I hear you breathe, I get wings to fly. I know that I'm alive. When you look to me, I can touch the sky. I know that I'm alive. Oh, 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 oh. When you bless the day, I just drift away. All my worries die. I'm glad that I'm alive. You set my soul on fire. Fill me with love. Make me a woman on clouds above. Oh yeah, I couldn't get much higher. My spirit takes flight, 'cause I am alive. Oh, when you call on me, when you reach for me, I feel that. When you bless the day, I just drift away. God knows that I'll be the one standing by through good and through trying times. And it's only begun. I can't wait for the rest of my life. When you call on me, when you call on me, when you reach for me, and God knows that. When you bless the day, I just drift away. I know that I'm alive. Oh, I get wings to fly. God knows that I'm alive.
Well, what a joy to have another stellar day here at Mile High Church. Thank you so much to Laura and the band. Great message from Reverend Josh. Thank you, Reverend Josh. Beautiful and lovely prayer, Michelle. I feel so great to be here, and I'm so glad that you are with us today. We want you to know about some things that are coming up. You can still be part of our wonderful Giving Tree opportunity. We at Mile High Church are so loving and generous to support children and families all over the Denver metro area this time of year, and our Giving Tree is completely online. So go to milehighchurch.org, where you'll find everything you need to just make a gift, make a contribution, and therefore make some families' Christmas extra special this year. Thank you for participating with us. We also want you to know that one of the creative things we're excited to do is going to be Family Christmas. From our house to your house, a virtual family Christmas. Gather up your family, gather up your kids. It's one of my favorite services of the entire year, and it's going to be on December 9th. And so you can tune in here and watch us on all of our platforms and enjoy a wonderful family Christmas. And yep, the big guy's going to be here. I'm not talking about Dr. Barry. I'm talking about Santa Claus. Santa Claus himself will be here. So we're looking forward to that. And then Wednesday night, this Wednesday night from 6 to 7 is an extra special time for prayer. I don't know about you, but I sure feel like I need a lot of extra prayers these days. And if you feel like you could use the healing balm of prayerfulness, join us in our virtual prayer room, where you can come into the prayer room and be put into a special place to do prayer with one of our practitioners. It's going to be a lovely night. Let yourself be served and supported. Thanks again for being here, and we go forth in love and joy and gratitude, feasting on ideas of upliftment and letting go of all ideas that no longer serve us. We stand in that truth together now, and so it is.